things that you've done, Shepard, is you've really encouraged a lot of people to, through example, to make a statement in public space. And so and you've created, both of you have created a lot of opportunity, but then there's also been, now that anyone or almost anyone can participate, there's an issue with quality, right? So can you guys talk a bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, from the Android standpoint, there's maybe two different directions to look at it. One is, again, we release this open mobile platform, and people can take it and build, works like the Samsung phone that I have in my hand, and other phones. And then people can do that cooperating, in some ways with Google and Google brand guidelines, or they can just go off and try and create something that's completely different and has nothing to do with the existing ecosystem. And there's even varying degrees of that. There's Amazon Kindle, which, again, has their own app store and has decided to be very different. But then there's even my sprinkler system that controls the sprinkling, the watering of my lawn is actually running Android. And it's a commercial product. And they just decided they needed they wanted to have the weather controlling whether or not it should be watering, so that if it's raining, it knows that it's going to rain the next couple of days, and it adapts the schedule according to that. And they wanted to have a little OS that they could modify and work with to do that. So people can create derivative works, and I think that that's great, and that was part of our goal. But there's another piece of it too, which is how apps are distributed. And so with Android, our decision day one was to have an app store where anyone could publish an app, and that was and that means that you're going to have a lot of apps, but that went completely opposed to how the carriers like to think of things, because they were really freaked out about the idea that any content could be downloaded then, and what if there's malicious stuff? And so talking to the major carriers back then about, don't worry, it will be okay. Yes, somebody can publish an app with a virus in it. And our argument was, no matter how much you try and check the code, you're not going to find the viruses anyways. They're going to make it through. And we just thought, if it's self-policed by the community and people immediately say this app seems bad, then maybe a couple of people download it, but it's quickly flagged as being a malicious app, and it's taken down. And and it turns out you've got about an equal number of apps that are malicious sort of in both platforms, iOS or Android. So having a high gate is one way of doing it, and our way it was just be open. And I suspect there's a lot of parallels to, again, you just let somebody put something up and it can be good or bad, and the community has to then sort of deal with it.